Welcome back. Before I start demonstrating next stage, I would like you to check and make sure you've done exactly everything as I done. And we're checking the lining. So all your lining need to be tacked, nice and beautiful. So check, make sure you've got, your lining is slightly bigger. And see, I've got extra fabric here. Check your back, yeah, make sure you've got little pinch here. Check, make sure everything is tucked. Make sure you've got extra fabric from the lining here, so it's lays flat, and lays, everything else is laid flat and tucked, and nothing is anywhere interferes. You can flip it over and check the other side as well. So when you've done that and it looks the same as my one, the next part would be is actually securing your lining, is actually finishing your lining. And the parts of the lining here, so I'm just going to bring that closer because I'm going to do a demonstration. You can slip stitch your lining everywhere, and you know how to do that. You know, with slip stitching, single thread, top fabric, the thread should be the same color as your top fabric, as close as possible, and your stitching have to be strong and invisible. And there's another way to do which is I prefer, and it's period, and it's appropriate for tailoring, and also I like it because it looks nice, it looks really good, but also faster. So in that way, and it's a back stitch, and so I'm going to start here from where the lining is, really next to 1 millimeter next where my lining starts, so 1 millimeter, and I literally go back, and there's a tiny stitches, and I'm touching it to the, if you can see closer, so it's a back stitch, doesn't go through all the fabrics, it only goes through one layer of the fabric, which is at the moment I'm doing vent, see that, and I just go and just attach it that way. And it's easy to do. Again, it's consistent, a similar way as we did with your flap for your pocket. The only thing, it doesn't go through, so it's not a stab stitch, so it's not stabbing and you're not going through. It's a back stitch, so you are stitching back, and you're creating like little dots there. And more consistent you are, and more accurate with the little dots, the better will look. So yeah, so give it a go and do practice a little bit, and that way, see that, and that touches to your top fabric, and can you see it's beautifully attached to that side? Yeah. So I'm also going to show you the part where you are attaching lining with lining together. So you continue doing that, or you do slip stitching. So as I said. So the next part would be is, yeah, so if you're attaching where your two linings together, again, in the same manner, so I put my knot inside, so you're not seeing it, like that, and back stitch, and you're only trying to attach to your lining with the lining. So go through and pick the lining and attaching only to the lining. And of course, when you're going to have from your color thread, it's not going to be that visible as my one. They all will be nice. Can you see that? I can bring it closer, and see that's a little dots, and that goes all the way to on your lining, and picks the lining parts together. And if it's by accident, you go through a similar ounce of your top fabric, that's okay, as long as it doesn't go through all the layers and doesn't show another side. So that would be fine. And you just continue doing that step stitching. When it's all done, it looks really nice, really beautiful. And also in some ways, it makes that flatter as well. So it makes very nice and flat. So when you've done your step stitching here, so you continue, so you step stitching all the way through your seam, side seam, but then here, when it comes to your armhole, stop it at there. So because we need to have access to the seam allowance and your armhole to insert your sleeves. So so yeah, stop it up to that point there, so you can have that part just up with the tucking thread together, but separate from your actual main top. Okay, so we can have access. So we've got access to this one. That's perfect. Yes, you're doing that. You leave this this the center back here. You just leave tucked together. You can do, if you wish, you know, to do like a little slap stitch, which will be beautiful. But I'm absolutely happy if you just tuck that back. So if you do want to see what's inside, you can undo and look inside as well. And then continue doing your, you know, slap stitching or back stitch, sorry, back stitch along your vent. So that's it. So that's what is going to be left is the hem here. And for this one, what usually I do is I usually do slip stitch that part, but what I do, I fold it slightly over like this here, fold my lining over. So if you can just come closer to that. So I fold my lining slightly over and I slip stitch that part just where the lining slightly fold, and then you drop your lining back to cover your slip stitching. So if I just show you how I'm doing it. Make sure I've got the right thin needle. So I usually use for slip stitching quite fine needle for that. So yeah, so if you look, my one is going to be in red, of course. Yours one should be, and as you secure your thread, I just need to cut that off to secure my thread actually. So secure your thread first. So make sure you don't see it. And then when that's done, so you do your slip stitches. So I pick it up only one layer of the lining like that, and then go through the top fabric and go again. So I picked up only one layer of my lining, go down, and that way, so that and down. So when I undo the tucking, here, so the linings will be slightly baggier in that area. But also it's covered with, you know, my slip stitching is covered and protected as well for to be pulled by accident. So, you see like that? So just one layer of the lining, so it doesn't go through that side at all, so only one layer. So it will take a little bit of time, but it's only a small area, so so you can do it. And then when it goes to 2 layers of the lining, then you have to pick it up, the layer which is from the back, that layer, and go to so make sure that's picked up, yeah, and then touch that, and then go again, go and pick it up the back, so you go touching the back, yeah. And when that is attached, so you see that, and then I'll put it back, fold it back that way, and that would covers my slip stitching as well, so it became even more invisible. So if I come closer to see that, I just slip stitched here, so underlining, and then I pull it back. So when I take the tucking out, that part will be slightly baggier. Okay, and that will give a little bit of more length, so it doesn't, you know, so stop pulling just in case. Okay, so as I said, you finish all that. So I'm going to do that and I'll show you my finished garment in the next video. But yes, please do ask me any questions if you still would like me to show you some demonstrations on the stitchings. Come back to me and I will do it again. See you later. Bye.